Hello students, welcome to my next session of lecture. In the previous lecture, I have informed you about the question paper of your 12th standard, how it is going to come, in how many sections it is divided, and how many marks you have to secure in every section. In today's lecture, I would like to inform you about the contents in each section and of every book. So, we shall start with section A. As you already know, there are two sections, two main sections. First section is section A and the other section is section B. So today I will start with section A. In section A, you have to study English prose, English poetry, short stories, The Merchant of Venice, drama, and figures of speech. So, let me take first English prose. In English prose, you have to study 7 lessons. They are as such: A Girl with a Basket, A Fellow Traveler, Secret of Health, Success and Power, The Homecoming, I Am John's Heart, Women's Education, The Heritage of India. As you all know, children, I have already informed you, from English prose, you are going to study the whole lesson, and then from that, you have to write and practice about reference, context, and explanation, and short questions. Now we shall come to English poetry. In English poetry, you have to study 10 poems. They are Character of a Happy Life, The True Beauty, On His Blindness, From an Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard, A Lament, La Bella Damson's Mercy, From the Passing of Arthur, My Heaven, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, The Song of the Free. From the poetry section, you have to learn central idea and reference, context, and explanation of each stanzas, which will be taught to you in my future lectures. Now we shall come to short stories. From short stories, you have to study 4 stories which are very interesting: The Gold Watch, An Astrologer's Day, The Lost Child, and A Special Experience. From short story, you have to answer 2 questions. Then comes The Merchant of Venice, that is our play. In Merchant of Venice, you have to study the summary of the whole play scene wise. Then comes the study of main characters, and then comes the questionnaire. In the questions, you will be given long questions, and you have to study by heart the answers of these questions, and also according to the episodes, according to the scenes also, some questions will be given to you. Then comes the figure of speech. This is the last part of section A, which is included in this, and in this you have to study about 7 figures of speeches, that is simile, metaphor, personification, apostrophe, oxymoron, hyperbole, and onomatopoeia. We will further have a detailed study of all these things given to you in section A in my future lectures. Then, next comes the section B. Section B is completely the grammar part. In this, what you have already studied till class first year, 11th, it will be further modified and explained in much better manner, such as in previous classes you were writing and learning direct and indirect only with one or two sentences. Here you have to learn how to change one or two sentences as well as paragraphs. So, in section B, part 1, the first part is direct and indirect narration. In this, you have to learn the general rules, then the assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, optative sentences, exclamatory sentences, assorted sentences, and some dialogues. These sentences will be given to you in a direct form, and you have to learn the rules to change it into indirect narration. Then comes your second part, that is the synthesis of sentences. Synthesis means the formation. Anything formed is known as synthesis. In this synthesis, what we are going to do, we are going to study about the formation of three important kinds of sentence. That is formation of simple sentences, formation of complex sentences, and formation of compound sentences. There are various rules about forming or making or changing the form of one sentence into another sentence that will be explained to you in my grammar lectures. The third comes the transformation of sentences. In this, transformation means change. How we are going to transform a sentence from one type to another type. That you are going to learn in this transformation section. In this, you have to study about different methods of transformation, sentences containing the adverb to, interchange of assertive sentence and interrogative sentences, interchange of affirmative and negative sentences, interchange of degrees of comparison, interchange of exclamatory and assertive sentences, different ways of expressing a condition or a contrast, interchange of active and passive voices, interchange of one part of speech with another, interchange of simple sentences and compound sentences, interchange of simple sentences to complex sentences, interchange of compound sentences and complex sentences. So here in transformation, you have to transform the sentences from one type to another type. Then comes the fourth one, syntax. Syntax simply means correction of sentences. In this correction of sentences, we use articles, nouns, pronouns, and its position are confirmed in a sentence. So you should know the proper place of these articles, noun, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, etc. and etc., where it should be placed so that the meaning of the sentence comes correctly and properly. In that, we are going to teach you articles, nouns, noun of numbers and possessive cases, pronouns, adjective, adverb, infinitives, participles and gerunds, adverbs, prepositions. Special use of some prepositions will also be taught to you. Conjunction, some of common errors we generally make, that also will be taught under the section syntax. Then comes the part 2 of section B, that is vocabulary. Vocabulary includes synonyms, antonyms, homophones, one word substitution, words which often confuse, idioms and phrases. This will be taught to you how to learn and by heart these vocabularies, which will be beneficial to you throughout your life. Then comes the third part of section B, that is translation. In translation, you have to translate from Hindi to English. For this, hints on translation will be discussed in future lectures. There, how to translate a sentence and sentence by sentence to a paragraph. For that, some important hints must be known to you. For these hints, we will be teaching you three forms of verbs, the tense and its forms, present indefinite tense, that is simple present, past indefinite tense, that is past simple, future indefinite tense, that is simple future, present imperfect continuous tense, past imperfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense, present perfect tense, past perfect tense. Now, perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense, some imperative sentences, exclamatory sentences, optative sentences. The knowledge of these sentences must be very clear to every student because these sentences, different types of sentences, form a paragraph which you have to translate. There are different uses of may, might, can, and could be also taught to you. How to use should, must, and ought. And use of some special words will be taught to you. Verb to be, it, has, have, had. Use of have plus to. Active and passive voice. Active and passive voice in continued form. Sequence of tenses. Agreement of the verb with the subject. Infinitives, participles, gerunds, and verbal nouns. Conditional sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences, causative verbs. Direct and indirect narration once again will be repeated, just like revision. Some typical sentences will also be taught to you by me so that it will make your translation easier. Next, in the section B, the fourth part is essay writing, students. In this, I'm going to teach you how to write an essay. For writing an essay, first of all, you should know the proper spellings, grammatical mistakes, punctuation. All these things will be taught to you in my future lectures so that you can write an essay very neatly, very powerfully, and very attractively. Last but not the least, fifth part of section B comes, that is your unseen passage. In this unseen passage, I will teach you how to attempt an unseen passage. In your unseen passage, comprehension questions will be given. You have to answer them. Meaning of italicized portion will be given. You have to answer that also. Summary of the unseen passage will be given to write, and a proper and correct title or heading of the passage should be given. This is the complete content of your syllabus I have given you in this lecture. With this, now it is very clear, and I have chalked out each and every section of your question paper. According to this, we will be continuing in our future lectures. So from tomorrow onwards, I am going to start my proper lectures of teaching you. Thank you.